Sarah and Xander reunion, when love ignites in the darkness. Welcome back to Days of Our Lives channel. Today we will learn about the highly anticipated reunion between Sarah and Xander that happens much sooner than fans expected. All thanks to a dramatic and unexpected incident that brings them back into each other's arms during Salem's most vulnerable moment. Salem power outage disaster, a prelude to love. The peaceful atmosphere of Salem is about to be shattered by a catastrophic event that no one sees coming. A massive power outage will plunge the entire town into complete darkness, creating the perfect storm for romance to reignite between our beloved couple. This isn't just any ordinary blackout. This is the kind of citywide emergency that forces people to confront their deepest feelings and forget about their petty disagreements. The power grid failure affects every corner of Salem, from the bustling DiMera mansion to the quiet corners of the Kiriakis estate. Emergency services are overwhelmed, cell phone towers go down, and the entire communication system collapses. In this moment of crisis, when the familiar lights of the city fade to black, something magical begins to happen between Sarah and Xander that neither of them anticipated. When darkness becomes Cupid. As darkness envelopes Salem, Sarah and Xander find themselves in an unexpected situation that forces them into close proximity. The blackout creates a unique environment where their usual defenses and stubborn pride cannot function properly. Without the distractions of modern life, no phones buzzing, no televisions blaring, no artificial lights creating barriers, they are left with nothing but each other and the raw emotions they've been trying so desperately to suppress. The atmosphere becomes incredibly intimate as they navigate through the darkness together. Every whisper echoes more meaningfully. Every accidental touch sends electricity through their bodies that has nothing to do with the power outage. The familiar scent of Sarah's perfume mixed with Xander's cologne creates an intoxicating combination that brings back memories of their happiest moments together. In this vulnerable state, old grudges begin to melt away like ice in the summer sun. The anger about Philip's deception, the hurt feelings about trust and loyalty, the bitter words exchanged during custody discussions. All of these wounds start to heal as they realize that life is too precious and unpredictable to waste on petty arguments. Passion ignites in an unexpected romantic setting. What starts as a necessary conversation about their daughter Victoria's safety during the emergency quickly transforms into something much more profound and passionate. The darkness strips away all pretenses and social expectations, leaving only two people who have loved each other deeply and completely. As they sit together, perhaps sharing a single candle or flashlight, their eyes meet in a way they haven't allowed themselves to look at each other in months. The tension that has been building between them for weeks suddenly reaches its breaking point, but instead of erupting in anger as it has so many times before, it explodes into pure desire and longing. When Xander reaches out to comfort Sarah during a particularly frightening moment of the blackout, their hands touch and linger longer than they should. That simple contact ignites a fire that has been smoldering beneath the surface of all their arguments and hurt feelings. The kiss that follows is inevitable and earth-shattering. It's not just a kiss. It's a promise, a plea for forgiveness, and a declaration of love all rolled into one passionate moment. Years of shared history, intimate knowledge of each other's bodies and souls, and the deep connection that first brought them together all come flooding back in that single, perfect kiss. From one kiss to complete intimacy. The question that will be on every viewer's mind is whether this romantic rekindling will lead to complete physical intimacy between the estranged couple. The darkness provides them with both the privacy and the emotional cover they need to truly reconnect on every level. As the blackout continues through the night, Sarah and Xander find themselves talking honestly about their feelings for the first time in months. They share their fears about raising Victoria in a broken home, their regrets about the hurtful things they've said to each other, and their desperate longing to return to the happiness they once shared. The conversation becomes increasingly intimate as they remember their wedding day, their first dance, and all the small moments that made their love story so beautiful. The physical chemistry between them, which has always been undeniable, becomes impossible to resist in this romantic setting. Whether they choose to fully surrender to their passion remains to be seen, But the emotional barriers that have kept them apart are definitely crumbling in the face of this unexpected romantic opportunity. New understanding between two hearts. Beyond the physical attraction and romantic tension, this blackout experience allows Sarah and Xander to reach a new level of understanding about their relationship and their future together. They begin to see past their immediate anger and hurt to remember why they fell in love in the first place and why their connection has always been so special and irreplaceable. Sarah realizes that her fear of Xander's violent tendencies has been overshadowing her memory of his gentleness with her and their daughter. She remembers how he's always been her protector, her champion, and her most devoted supporter. The man she fell in love with is still there, underneath the anger and frustration that recent events have caused. Xander, meanwhile, begins to understand that Sarah's deception about Philip's letter wasn't meant to betray him, but to protect him from making decisions he would later regret. He sees that her love for him made her want to shield him from the consequences of his own worst impulses, even at the cost of their relationship. The threat from Philip's deception. However, even as Sarah and Xander move toward reconciliation, dark clouds are gathering on the horizon that threaten to destroy their newfound happiness. The secret about Xander's brutal attack on Philip continues to loom over their relationship like a sword of Damocles, ready to fall at any moment. Philip's decision to lie and protect Xander from criminal charges may seem like an act of brotherly love, but it comes with strings attached that could ultimately tear the reunited couple apart. The guilt that Xander carries about nearly beating his half-brother to death weighs heavily on his conscience and creates a barrier to true intimacy with Sarah, even as they physically reconnect. Sarah, meanwhile, remains convinced that Xander was responsible for Philip's hospitalization, regardless of Philip's public statements clearing him of blame. This fundamental disagreement about what really happened that night creates an underlying tension that no amount of romantic passion can completely erase. Love triumphs in Salem's darkness. Despite the challenges that await them, this blackout reunion represents a crucial turning point in Sarah and Xander's relationship. The darkness of Salem's power outage becomes a metaphor for the dark period their marriage has endured, and their ability to find each other and reconnect in that darkness suggests that their love is strong enough to overcome any obstacle. The physical setting of the blackout creates a perfect romantic atmosphere that allows them to forget about the outside world and focus entirely on each other. No lawyers calling about custody arrangements, no family members offering unwanted advice, no business crises demanding immediate attention. Just two people who love each other deeply finally allowing themselves to feel that love without reservation or fear. As the night progresses and their connection deepens, both Sarah and Xander begin to realize that they don't want to spend another day apart. The loneliness they've both been feeling becomes unbearable when compared to the joy and contentment they find in each other's arms. This reunion during the blackout serves as a powerful reminder of what they're fighting for and why their love is worth preserving despite all the challenges they've faced. The dream of perfect family reunion. The presence of their daughter Victoria adds an extra layer of meaning to this romantic reunion. Both Sarah and Xander are acutely aware that their little girl needs her parents to be happy and united, not bitter enemies fighting over custody arrangements. The blackout gives them a chance to envision their future as a complete family once again, with both parents present and committed to making their marriage work. They talk about Victoria's future, about the kind of home they want to create for her, and about the importance of showing her what true love looks like. This conversation about their shared parental responsibilities helps them remember that their relationship is about much more than just their own happiness. They have a precious little girl who depends on them to get their act together and be the loving parents she deserves. The romantic atmosphere of the blackout allows them to dream about family vacations, birthday parties, Christmas mornings, and all the other precious moments they could share if they could just find their way back to each other. These dreams become more real and attainable with every passionate kiss and tender caress they share in the darkness. This reunion in Salem's darkness will be the beginning of a new chapter in Sarah and Xander's love story, a chapter filled with passion, forgiveness, and hope for a brighter future. Though challenges still remain, their love has proven its strength to overcome any darkness and difficulty. Next, we will learn about the shocking twists that unfolded in Salem on Friday, September 19th, 2025. This episode brought powerful confrontations, impossible choices, and surprising new alliances that will forever change the paths of some of our favorite characters. Let's dive deep into the drama, the secrets, and the betrayals shaking Salem to its core. JJ finds himself in serious trouble. The episode opens with JJ caught in a situation that could spiral out of control. Salem Square, usually buzzing with casual chatter and small-town charm, quickly turns tense when JJ sees Gabby speeding recklessly through the square. At first, JJ tries to defuse the situation with a quick apology, but Gabby isn't in the mood for forgiveness. Their exchange quickly turns sharp, full of accusations and rising tempers. For JJ, the encounter highlights his instability and his inability to fully escape the shadows of his past. His late arrival to Gabby's storyline makes his presence feel like an intrusion, and when Gabby snaps at him to leave, the message couldn't be clearer. Yet instead of walking away for good, JJ lingers like a ghost. Long after Gabby has disappeared, he remains in the square, his guilt and uncertainty etched across his face. Theo soon steps into the picture, running into JJ once again. The moment becomes even more tense when Theo notices JJ's badge and gun. The sight raises questions. What is JJ really planning? Theo's discomfort grows, and instead of engaging further, he chooses to walk away, leaving JJ standing in the square, an isolated figure who looks more like a liability than an officer of the law. This entire sequence sets the stage for JJ's growing troubles. He is a man on the edge, increasingly seen as unstable by those around him, and Salem is beginning to wonder if he still belongs in their community. Tony's ruthless move against Philip and Xander. While JJ wrestles with his demons, another battle brews behind Salem's business doors. Tony DiMera steps forward in his signature style, calm, calculating, and utterly ruthless. He corners Philip and Xander with an offer they cannot refuse. What he demands isn't money, isn't property, but something far more devastating. The one thing each of them values most and cannot afford to lose. For Philip, this means the legacy of his family name and his fragile grip on Titan Industries. For Xander, it's his tenuous shot at redemption and the love that barely holds him together. Tony's scheme is pure DiMera, strategic, merciless, and perfectly timed. By forcing his rivals to sacrifice what defines them, Tony demonstrates once again why the DiMera name inspires both fear and respect throughout Salem. Philip and Xander, usually powerful men in their own right, suddenly look cornered. Their partnership, already shaky, begins to show cracks. If they give in to Tony, they lose everything. If they resist, the fallout could destroy their families, their reputations, and their futures. Salem hasn't seen such high-stakes manipulation in years, and Tony relishes every moment of it. Brady's isolation and Gabby's bold proposal. At the pub, another drama unfolds when Alex confesses the full details of the scam letter to Brady. Everyone in Salem, it seems, already knew about it except Brady himself. Feeling betrayed and once again positioned as the perpetual outsider in his family, Brady lashes out. He accuses Alex of manipulation, but Alex quickly flips the conversation, suggesting that Brady's constant sense of isolation is partly his own fault. The tension is briefly soothed when Alex extends his hand, and Brady, against his instincts, accepts it. But the moment of calm doesn't last. Within seconds of Alex leaving, Gabby appears, sliding effortlessly into the empty seat across from Brady. She plays coy, pretending not to know about the Titan scandal, but her sharp eyes and sly smirk reveal she's fishing for information. Their verbal sparring turns into a game of who can play the bigger fool. Both deny knowledge, both try to one-up the other with feigned ignorance. Yet beneath the banter lies a strange chemistry. Brady, feeling sorry for himself, admits that his career seems insignificant compared to his father John, who has spent a lifetime saving the world. Gabby seizes the opportunity to lift Brady's spirits. She suggests this might be his chance to reinvent himself. While Brady clings to the idea of seeing Basic Black through to success, Gabby proposes something daring. Why not let her run both Gabby Chic and Basic Black? Her ambition shines through, and the idea, though outrageous, plants a seed in Brady's mind. Could Gabby really handle both empires? And could Brady find freedom by letting go? Stephanie, Alex, and the apartment dilemma. Meanwhile, love and commitment hang in the balance for Stephanie and Alex. At their apartment, Stephanie confides in Jada about Alex's offer to move in together. Jada reacts with delight, insisting it's a wonderful opportunity, especially since she herself is eager to pay rent and create a stable living arrangement. Yet Stephanie hesitates. Her doubts stem from their recent fight, a conflict that pulled back the curtain on who they truly are beneath the surface charm of early romance. Jada, ever pragmatic, reminds her that arguments are part of every relationship. Still, Stephanie can't shake the fear that moving in might be too much, too soon. After Jada heads to work, Alex appears at the door. In an almost theatrical gesture, he returns Stephanie's keys, a symbolic move that doubles as an apology. He admits his mistakes but makes it clear he still wants to move forward with her. Stephanie presses him, asking whether he's truly ready to work with her as an equal partner. Alex insists he is, promising growth and compromise. The moment of decision arrives, and against her earlier doubts, Stephanie chooses to take the leap. Alex, Stephanie, and even Jada, who has her own vested interest in their living situation, all find themselves on the brink of a new chapter. But in Salem, new beginnings often come with hidden costs. A Salem shaken by secrets. Friday's episode of Days of Our Lives gave us a tapestry of storylines that all connect through one central theme: the struggle between holding on and letting go. JJ clings to his badge and gun even as his behavior makes him a danger to himself and others. Tony tightens his grip on Philip and Xander, forcing them to choose between survival and sacrifice. Brady faces the possibility of loosening his hold on Basic Black, tempted by Gabby's audacious proposal. And Stephanie must decide whether moving in with Alex is an act of love or a dangerous risk. Every corner of Salem feels unstable, every character poised on the edge of a decision that could alter their lives forever. Betrayal, ambition, love, and power swirl together in a storm that is only beginning to break.